How's it going, my lovely Death Disciples? I am the Shadowed Reaper, and today we're going to be playing a different game, and it is called The Banner Saga. Now, this game, I know it came out years ago, but you know, it's the Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'm playing that as well. But this game was actually a game that was recommended to me, and it doesn't cost me around $50 to buy it. I know I played Crusader Kings 3 before, but that was because there was a trial going on, and I thought I would stream my gameplay of while it was available. And so the trial ended a while ago, so I don't necessarily own it, but it's still on my computer. But yeah, at the moment, even though I did get some more money thanks to my COVID check finally coming in, I'm thinking about waiting until people show enough interest. I mean, there was only one person that said they wanted to watch CK3, but it was more because, like, there weren't really many recommendations they could offer other than what I suggested in the video. So, I mean, like, yeah, I think maybe I'll just wait until enough people are interested before I buy the game was kind of my thinking. But for now, I'm going to be starting the Banner Saga, and I plan on getting the Banner Saga 2 after I finish this game, and then moving on to the Banner Saga 3. So that we could have a continuous storyline, was my idea. Hopefully it'll work out, however, because I'd really like to see how that whole thing goes about. But for now, we're going to be starting with Banner Saga. I will probably get CK3 or Crusader Kings 3 at some point along the line. It might be after Dragon Age Inquisition finishes. So we'll think about that and keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, so the Banner Saga basically is well, basically, it's a strategy game, and in this game, you also have these characters. They can live, but they can also die, and the world will continue on without them. There's another game that was made later. It was called the Will of the Gods, Ash of the Gods. No, Ash of the Gods. Yeah, I remember because I played that game before on my last channel. Yeah, it was a fun game, actually. I might play that game again as well for this channel, so, let me know what you guys think about that. But for now, we're gonna be starting on Banner Saga. Also has a lot of Viking influence, as you can tell, and as a Norseman. Definitely my thing. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and... The story in the Banner Saga changes based on the choices you make. You will occasionally switch between lead characters, witnessing the story unfold from different perspectives. And this is the Banner Saga world. The gods are dead. Oh. Well, that's something to start off with. In their wake, man and giant survive through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on, but the gods are dead. Only one thing has stopped. The sun. Oh. Well, that's not pleasant either. The sun has stopped and the gods are dead. So basically, what we've got is a situation where...
It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Richhorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
The governor would probably be called the Godri, or the Jarl. I don't know which one. There's so many different names for officials in Viking culture that, or Norse culture that, I'm not entirely sure which one is which. I know... Because I know the Goldri are responsible for one particular land. Hello there, good sirs. Just nothing like a good old Viking welcome. I mean, England has certainly had plenty of that, and Scotland and Ireland and the entirety of the British Isles, the French, the Frisians, I do not speak your weird gibberish. I have yet to learn any Norse languages, but I am more than certain that means that I am going to also give you the proper Viking welcome, good sir. You've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are now looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Drag around the screen to see your surroundings. Click the check mark to continue. Okay, so yep, there's 4 of them, and a bunch of people already dead. Gotcha. And all these people gathered for a nice little party, and you just decided to ruin it. And that, my good sir, is not to my liking. How dare... Ow. That accidentally hit the laptop on my pinky finger. Anyway, that, my good sir, will not go well through me. For you misunderstand the meaning of a good party. In the Norse ways, you do not disturb a party. You do nothing of the sort, for you dishonor the gods. I do not care if they are dead in this world. They deserve some damn respect. You have disgraced the honor of Lord Thor, and for that, you shall pay. I may not be loyal to Asgard, but I do respect the gods, except for Odin, and I will make sure ye pay. Wait, am I talking more like a pirate? I feel like that might be grounds for disrespect. Anyway, that is not the point. That is beside the point, and I will shut up now and get to the part where I murder all of you. These portraits show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are blue, the enemy is red. It's your turn to act. Movement happens before action. This ring shows the shield banger is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Some characters fill more tiles than others. The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up 4 tiles while humans fill a single tile. They can have a huge impact on your strategy. Click the tile you want to move to, then click the check mark to confirm. Move your shield banger here and have him to get him into attack range. Well, that seems more like where you want him to go. But this is the tutorial and I want to get through it as quickly as possible, so fine. To target an enemy, click the tile on which they stand. All ally tiles are blue, the enemies are red. Target this enemy now by clicking the tile. Oh boy. You're gonna be in for a world of hurt. You can choose to either attack the enemy's strength or break his armor. The numbers beneath each icon, 2, 5, show the damage you will do to that stat. Well, my friend, I can already tell you that this is gonna end quickly. Not necessarily to either of our liking, but hey, who cares? Oh. Strength counts as both health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you'll now do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. Armor blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by a break attack. By breaking armor, you open up to take more damage in the future. The enemy has only 5 strength remaining. A strength attack will kill them. Click the fist now to attack his strength and confirm your choice. Will do. Goodbye. Penetration attack to the death. He's down. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. I don't think this guy has blonde hair, just kind of notifying you. He looks more red-headed. Just saying. After taking an action, your turn ends. Next up is the enemy. Turns always alternate if you are outnumbered. Despite being at full strength, the chieftain will do little damage against your shield banger's high armor. Now it's your Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all characters can use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By clicking on gold tiles, a character can move further than usual, at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tiles beneath your enemy show how close you'll have to get to be in range. Move your Warhawk into attack range now. I mean, that last guy definitely had a lot to worry about from my shield banger. Nobody does a bang-up job better than my shield banger. Know what I'm saying? Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability that gives him a unique advantage. Click your Warhawk's tile to access his abilities, especially considering, you know, he's got a giant claymore, big giant sword. I don't know what the big swords are called for the Norse. Do they have two-handed swords? I honestly don't know, but I feel like they should. I know they have axes. Clicking your character's tile will bring up all of his combat options, including move, ability, attack, and end turn. Click the purple ability icon now. Tempest. The ability description appears in the tooltip below. The Warhawk's Tempest allows him to slam multiple enemies at one selected enemy and then confirm your choice. Pathetic ass bitch. That made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. When there's only one enemy left, players enter pillage mode. During pillage, each character moves in order and there are no more guaranteed turns. Check the initiative to see how the order has changed. Your allies now get to move twice in a row. If a character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest this turn. You realize that doom has come upon thee. Shame. Looks like the chieftain is in some trouble. Your shield banger won't be able to finish the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage. Click the chieftain's tile to attack. Click the fist, and then the stars above the fist to add willpower. The number of stars available each turn are determined by your exertion stat. You'll see the damage number go up as you add willpower. Click a star and then the green check mark to kill this enemy. You got it! Goodbye, enemy chieftain, and may the gods... Well, I mean, most people normally would say have mercy on your soul, but I don't want mercy on your soul, so... just die. And face Queen Hela's judgment. Although, it's also Hel, but people have corrected me on using Hela. But the problem with that is that I've heard it used both ways, so I don't really know if Hel is more proper or if Hela is offensive. Again, I've heard it both ways by people who know the religion, so it's just, I don't know. Helheim, Hel, you know what, I'll just use Hel from now on. Queen Hel, and I also had people correct me when using Queen Hela, even though she is technically queen of her own realm. I know she's a goddess, but when I refer to her as queen, it's more of an additional title to the already given title of her being a goddess. So, yeah. Anyway, I got 6 renown from that.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade. Quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his lust. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head.
Quite the bit of exposition there, sir.
I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
But aren't you the king? So that would mean it's your tithe? Or you're the governor? So, I know the Jarl is meant for a king, but I've mostly heard Godri and such for, like, land-owning nobles. I think that's what the Godri means. And, let's see. There is also the Hemsinger, or something like that. There are a lot of titles to which they all kinda sound like they're for the same thing. And I'm not entirely sure which one to go with for what positions, because they all have the same descriptions in one way or another. They're all basically land-owning nobles. And it's hard to tell the difference between which one is meant to be appropriate for which one. So considering if I were to be an outsider visiting their culture, it'd be like, no, this is the Godri, and that's the Hemsinger, and that's the Jarl. Like, okay, but why are they described the same? Because, landowning farmers are actually meant to be very important in Norse culture, so the landowners would actually be the aristocrats of the time, while fishing is meant to be like a normal food gathering in Scandinavia and in Iceland. Being able to own farmland was meant to be sort of a nobility sort of thing. So farming was very important, because there was only so much land that could be farmable in Scandinavia. Not to say that there wasn't enough food for Scandinavians, because that's a bit of a misconception for Vikings and Norsemen, was that they couldn't really supply themselves with enough food, which is a bit untrue. They were able to, it's just that the landowners had more power because it was such a rare ability, and yet also a more lucrative way of being able to get food, as well as something that can be meant as a status for wealth, if that makes sense. Anyway, that history lesson out of the way. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts the chase. Good, I like a man who cuts to the chase. Eirik, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Ubin, isn't it? What do you want? The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. Let's see. Well, I mean, I literally just came here to trade, so but what did you have in mind? Scoffings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Okay. I don't know if I'll be giving all of them Norse accents, because I don't really have a variety of Norse accents to work with, so, click the market tent to visit the merchant. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls, colored canvases flap on the briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Odd. I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot? The Scoffing's chieftain bled out about an hour ago. Odd. So when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawl back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. They don't talk to me. I'll say nothing and be patient. I am a wise and patient being. Eirik overturns his flimsy table. Well, I guess I didn't need to be patient for some impatience to run out. Scattering Hod's assortment of junk across the ground. So, we going Jesus style here. The one time I approve of the style. Gods! Eirik laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the Scoffings? Nobleman up by East Wall, but that was months ago last I know. Had skulks away with a wave of Eirik's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figured. Your bodyguard stepped forward. Are we done here? Gunolf, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? I don't think it was, actually. No, just bought him while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. Better than an eggplant. You gotta love this kind of banter. Gunnulf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seemed unreliable at best. The blind dog wouldn't trust Han, but he used to be a Skalfing. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is a mead hall. Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. I seriously don't know what voices to give them. I am so sorry. Let's see. After this, I'm done here. It's not up to me, my friend. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. I'll remind him. The Mead House, a very fun place. You arrive in front of what must be noblemen. A few minutes later, Eric appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get this over with. That's the spirit, says Valgard. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard, it won't close again without repair. Gotta love these damn Vikings and Norsemen. They know how to kick down a fucking door. As he entered the hall, Eric is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed drunken Skalfings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. You motherfuckers! If the crime of attempting assassination on the man I am trying to get payment from was not a terrible enough crime, ruining a party filled with plenty of drink and now wasting the drink. Oh, you have royally, yarly pissed me off. No one wastes a good drink around me. And if they do, great punishment awaits them. Alright, let's see. I'm ready to go. Okay, I'm gonna move this much so that I can at least have some movement. But I'm not gonna let them be within attack range to me. I'm gonna go after this one. And you're gonna beat this guy up. 3 strengths, and that seems to be the most that can be done. There we go. That's pretty hard, are ya? Okay, that seemed to have hurt a bit. But only a bit. Okay, you're gonna regain some willpower, it seems. Oh, a shield wall, I see. How very intriguing. But I make shield walls of my own. I'm going after the armory. Very nice, I would say, but I could do that too. And I could do it better. Oh, oops. How's that for some armor bashing? Okay, I'm getting the slight feeling that guy's not having a fun time. Okay, maybe not. Is there a way yeah, I think I'm gonna move him out of there. You basically did your job tanking the damage, so, yeah, I'm gonna have you sit the rest of this out, and, okay. I see what's going on here. You all putting up a hell of a lot of shield walls, but no, not accepting that. Ain't gonna happen. You wanna go, brother? Oh, that's a lot of armor you took out. Okay, that's something. And, yeah, you're gonna be dead. Oh dear, he's dead. Yeah, he's out. Okay, that did not work out well for him. Apologies. But you, sir! You're definitely gonna have it. And you're gonna die. Alright, 4 to go. Ooh, right in the armor. You're gonna die, so... Dead. Now that wasn't very nice. You ran over your own ally, and you also ran over a Varl. I find that very hard to believe. Anyways, you're gonna die from this one strike, so... Die. Oh, and he's been promoted too. How nice. Okay, you're gonna die from this one strike, so no need to worry anymore about this. Time for the pillaging! And, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna break you in the armor. That sound cool? Great. How's that feel to be broken in the armor? And, this is just gonna kill you, so... Split right from the top to the bottom. Including the ball sack. The foes lie dead, and promotion from Gunnulf with his new green outfit. Consequences, Eric has been injured though. Yeah, he takes a lot of damage there. Oops. Well, I mean, to be fair, well, actually, the movement might have been my fault, but, there they are. Let's be damned. I gotta go wash off this blood. I think that also includes your blood, so apologies for that. Eric is looking out the hall's windows onto the bay. A fleet of long ships approach with sails of bold reds and blues. One banner I know well. Vognir. Next for Varl Kingship, last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guess. See what I deal with all day long? Things maybe makes a little more sense. You hoped I'd make a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrive. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? You people and your damn favors, what is it? If you happen to stall our guests down at the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustle from the mead house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. Okay then, to the docks. Vognir. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. Gods, Ubin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old. And if there is Vognir, there must be Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yaks. At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Jorundir demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Gromheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Arborang, in fact. I'm glad for it. See what I mean? I have such a lack of voices to go for. Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering. Golden wolf head emblazoned on red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son Ludin, don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon it is. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Grofheim? I have the distinct feeling I finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but, let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Margar? Hakon, have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few. Others are strangers to you. Yes, I'm off to find Margar. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. Oh, that's so cruel. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think? Alright, back to the Great Hall. Weariness suddenly settles in, and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagnir's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. I'm gonna go with Hakon. Scrivener! You find Hakon in a mead house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon. Wagnir's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyways. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yok's fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Hakon lets slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Wagnir's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point, just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the mead house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. And we have the prince. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you're with Wagnir. I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagnir a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tides to the capital. We cross by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? I have a habit of recording history. I thought we might talk about your visit. A Varl historian? Don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been practically trumpeting it throughout the cities. I've been on the road for a while, I'm afraid. Ludin takes a deep sigh, whether tired or ungracious you aren't certain. Maybe both. A formality, mostly. Wagnir came to our capital in Arboreng, and now we go to the Varl's capital in Grofheim, to cement this grand alliance for the next age of men in Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it, and it's damn cold up here. You get the sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. Very interesting company. At dawn, you are woken by a delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with a sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eirik had anything to do with that. Oh, Saul, why must you stop your chariot in the sky as such? Although, to be fair, probably better than the alternative. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagnir is already there, while later Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Mulgar steps forward, Wagnir's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. We're ready. You follow Mulgar and join the others. Usually the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. Just frustrated, tired people. Summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. morale, 67 days of supplies, and 34 renown. Obviously, we are quite a well-known people at the moment. It'll improve. So we have 85 fighters, 366 Varl. I wonder if we're counting the women and children as well for that. That'd be very weird. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Mogger, cracking open mead casks, from our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout camp. Drink a little, drink a lot, toast to Wagner. Okay, I'm a bit in a tight situation here. Obviously, I'm not going to drink a little, so that option immediately crossed that shit out here. But, do I toast to Wagner, or do I drink a lot? I'm gonna be nice and toast to Wagner. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between Man and Varl. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Wagner. I'm gonna drink merrily. It's not often you get a chance to relax on the road. The odds of something happening to the treasure cart is low, especially in this company, so you take advantage. Morale has improved. Excellent. You rise groggily. That's the way to go. The campsite, a casualty of merriment. Mogger's already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up. Better wake up, you nut Wagner. You're needed. Oh, fucking police car passed by. I know it's campus police, but still, fuck those guys. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long till Grofheim? Huh, we're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. This is the map of the world. You can explore by dragging the mouse to pan and using the mouse wheel to zoom. Oh, whoops. The location of your caravan is indicated here by Ubin's icon. The world map is covered with many locations and holds much lore. You can explore the map at any time clicking on locations for more information. Let's start with Strand, where we came from. Strand. As close as anything comes to a bastion of racial tolerance. Both men and Varl compete to scratch out a living in this, the biggest trade city along the west coast. Many people still believe the god Dingerler still watches over it, granting good fortune. If the gods were not dead, but hey. Karlsfjord. The ford splitting off into Varl territory was named after Karl, the only Varl to ever become governor of Strand. Albeit only for a short time before the title returned to the human families whose ancestors originally built the city. Okay, the Red River. Some historians have speculated that the Red River was simply a counterpart to the Blue River, named by unimaginative explorers. Anyone who fought in the First Great War could tell you that it's where the Varl and mankind came to an impasse, neither side able to get a foothold, the river so full of corpses that it ran red. Karlsjus. One of the most important characters in the First Great War was Karl, a proud Varl warrior who turned against his own kind at the Mender's behest to help end the war between Varl and mankind. Along the Red River, an enormous meat house catered exclusively to Varl, but now sees both races drinking together regularly. Though, ironically, the mention of Karl's name will more often than not cause tempers to flare. I can see why. The right foot. The left and right foot of Dengeler's Bay are said to be where the god Dengeler himself stood when he created the thriving trade city of Strand. Others suggest it's where he stood while taking less noble actions upon the land. They're now used to navigate the long coastal markets by merchants and visitors. Which means this is the left foot. The left and right foot of Dengeler's Bay are said to be where the god Dengeler himself stood. Blah blah, yep, it's the same lore. Spine Isles. A smattering of rocks emerged from Dengeler's Bay as if a sea serpent was coiled up in the water, its spines breaking the waves. Over time, the spines have eroded, fallen, and become a general nuisance for longships, but this seems to have had little impact on trade between Arborang and Strand. And the Shiver Rock. To the north of Ridgehorn, two long mountains rise out of the vast like icy spines. To their alarm, Varl stationed in Ridgehorn would frequently see Dredge appearing on the rock, somehow emerging from below. Fortunately, the Dredge cannot swim, and while they are a reminder to remain vigilant, they pose no meaningful threat. And Ludin is simply just, this is all very nice lore, but aren't we supposed to be talking about the place we're going right now? In a minute. First I want to talk about the Wandering Road. At the end of the First Great War, the Varl had more to contend with than mankind to the south. Above the Brattabrek peaks, the lands crawled with furious war-minded Dredge. The first Varl king, Aenar, led the entire Varl race across the snowy fields of the Wandering Road, sweeping away Dredge as they went. Before forming the first Varl kingdom at Einartoft and Hraun, that's what it's called. The long snowfields, tall mountains, and sparse woods of Hraun used to be the gathering place of Dredge during the Second Great War. As Varl pushed them ever northward, they took the land and settled it themselves, preferring the cold expanses over the warm, busier lands of men to the south. Now the territory is almost entirely Varl. The Hanged Man, a curious formation of peaks straddled on two sides by natural passes, the singular snow-capped summit between them stands lonely and alone. It's a bit, yeah. Weatherfell, named Bad Weather. The gales that blow in from the bay and around the mountain peaks keep Weatherfell in a generally unpleasant state. What really cemented the name was the kind of person who would live there. Men cast out from Strand for one reason or another, with nowhere else to go. Dengeler's Bay. High above Strand sits a stone for Dengeler, the god of good fortune whom many believe still watches his bay as longships laden with silver and fur sail to and from the thriving trade city. So, this god appears to be mostly associated with the sea, which kind of makes me think this might be the equivalent to Njord, although I'm not certain. That's just a guess. Now then, okay. But first things first, we have plenty of lore to go along the way. The Long Reach. When even the Varls stopped to build their fort to move on, the mountain continued northward though the name speaks as much to the length of the mountains as the depth, crawling as they originally were with Dredge. The Twin Rivers. Near the roof of the world, two rivers jut into the land in suspiciously similar patterns, as though formed by some hand instead of naturally occurring, though no history of man or Varl can account for the formation. And then there's Stonehorn. Construction of Stonehorn was difficult in the frozen ice near Silverstone, and not particularly useful either, as most Dredge who found their way to Shield and Fastissether came from the Varl's March itself, or the Long Reach. Still, the Varl king Skrymir ordered it built, and though it sits lower than any other horn, it took twice as much stone to remain standing. And then we got the North Tongue. In Varl legend, this is well known as the location where the Varl king Skrymir stood as he single-handedly pulled a whale from the Silverstone, casting his line deep into the middle of the bay from the tip of the North Tongue. It actually kind of reminds me of a story, I believe it was from Cuba, of a similar name. The Man and the Old Man in the Sea, I think it was called. Something like that. Gelmsfjord. On the other side of the fork stands Gelmsfjord, which is only notable in that it's the one location on the Silverstone that doesn't have some kind of absurd or tragic story attached to it about the Varl during the reign of Skirmir. The Fork. When the Varl were building Skirmir's steed and fishing from the Silverstone, there was a competition to see who could pull in the most fish. Most people know the legend of Skirmir standing at the North Tongue and pulling a whale out of the bay using the world hook. But not many remember the Varl who caught a whale's weight in Silverscale standing at the fork. Axfjord. One of two rivers that formed from the Silverstone, Axfjord took looks as though someone chopped rough gashes into the bay, splitting a river all the way down to the Breck Peaks, which remain iced over half the year. And then there's Rumfjord. My kind of fjord. Rumfjord became a common phrase amongst Varl due to the astonishing amount of drink consumed as building materials were brought from Fastiseter to Skrimmerstead, which would eventually become abandoned anyway. Going down Rumfjord is still used even now to denote a futile endeavor that is best done while thoroughly drunk. And then there's the Varl's March. The Varl's March cradle of Grofheim is named such for the belief that each Varl is worth buried in King's Barrow, becomes the bones of the mountains, eventually forming a new peak along the range. The size of each peak, it was said, would vary depend on the worth of the Varl. And then there's two spears. An unusual gap in the Varl's March mountains looks like two great spears at a gate. For decades, it became a bloody corridor between the Varl forces and the Dredge to the north until the second Varl king, Arnfinir, endeavored to build a sprawling fortress here, which would eventually become Grofheim, the Varl capital. Then we have Fastiseter, one of the Varl strongholds integral in pushing the Dredge back into Valgajökull. Fastiseter was briefly considered the Varl's capital until Arnfinir, second Varl king, insisted they push further northward. Even still, many renowned Varl clans fill its halls. And then we have Skymyrstead. Skymir, the third Varl king, was known for his obsession with wiping out the Dredge. He expanded past Grofheim, founding a city in his name that soon became abandoned when the frozen land that it was built upon began to crack and splinter. It now lies abandoned and in ruin, half sunken into the Silverstone. Yeah, that obsession was taken a bit too far. And then we have Silverstone itself, a long bay known for good fishing for those daring enough to take advantage of it. For most of the year, a thin layer of ice sits across the top, giving it the appearance of silver in the sunlight. Whether it will hold a man's weight or tear a long ship to shreds is never certain. And finally we have Grofheim, the last home of the Varl and seat of their power. Founded by Arnfinir, the second Varl king, though the Varl had moved around a lot, most consider Grofheim their capital. The deeds of Varl are honored here, and all warriors are worth are buried at the foot of the two spears, where they are said to become part of the Varl's March itself. Okay, and that'll be the last lore thing I look at, because I feel like we should probably move on. We head north, then east, past the forts. Grofheim's far from Strand. Going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Ludin. Why not take the ships to Skymyrstead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year, would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skymyrstead. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin exhales through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Hakon. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another half day to Vetterfell, if we're lucky. I make the two sound so similar. Camp. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by tapping the camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tent. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. A high morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. The training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Tap leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to get back to the road. Click the hero's tent. Yep, I will do that. Click on the unit view to view stats, promote ranks, and learn about abilities. Gunolf, you were promoted. Click on the ability button to learn about this unit's ability. Tempest. The character uses his massive weight to sweep his weapon around himself, hitting multiple adjacent targets, friend or foe, for normal strength damage. Yeah, I figured it was something that could affect allies. Tempest triggers the character's passive ability, Heavy Impact, which in turn can cause a chain reaction of destruction. If used in close quarters, keeping the character out of harm's way until late in the fight will maximize his effectiveness. Rank 1 hits up to 2 enemies, Rank 2 hits up to 3 enemies, Rank 3 hits up to 4 enemies. And since you've killed more than 2 people, looks like that's the limit for you to need to be promoted. Let's get to promoting you. And what's this? When Ubin became the Varl King's tax collector, he was given an entourage of bodyguards to help transport gold collected across Thrawn. Gunnulf is the only one from the original group still alive, and for good reason. Okay, so this just gives lore on the characters. Okay, and let's promote you. The greatest warriors on the battlefield are those who live past their first battle to start a journey down the path to legend. Higher stats and increase your item rank. Are you sure you want to promote for 5 renown? Yes, I do. Do you see this renown? Of course I do. Let's see. This unit has points available to spend on improving stats. Activate one of the plus buttons above. So how about we work with getting more armor breaking? And what's this? I have no idea what that is. What is it? I think I'll go with more willpower as well. Or maybe no. Let's get a first item for this. A first point for this one. Seriously, what is this for? I have no idea what it does. Is that like to break chain reactions? Oh, okay, there we go. Abilities are the unique powers. Armor blocks damage. Strength is built damage and health. Willpower is spent to move further, hit harder, perform your ability, but does not replenish. Exertion is the amount of willpower you can use on any given action. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Yep. Got it all. Okay, let's go back then. Any other people I can look at? You have killed nobody. Ludin, how can you... Ugh. Just, really. Wow. Just wow. Hakon, you have also killed nobody. What the fuck, Hakon? You are a Varl. You are a War Master Varl. How could you possibly not have killed a single person? How is that possible? And Mongir, you also have not killed anybody. What is wrong with these people? Only my bodyguard has killed people. What the fuck? Okay, anyway, since we do have an... Oh, wait. I don't think we have an injured person. We don't have that guy with us. So, I think we can, exit. Yeah, I think we can leave. So, we're gonna do exactly that.
Winterfell. Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
I mean, that's kind of... I already read the lore on this place, so thank you for reiterating what I just read. By Hatherborg. That's a lot of Varl for some missing cattle. What? A couple days back sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself until it sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. Where have your cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boy's seen men up the hills carrying them away. Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. Scalfings out here, maybe? Would they have Varl working for them? Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to take a look around and get camp set up. The peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting about as the caravan sets up tents. We'll be here no more than a day. There's silver for any food you've got. For hundreds of Varl? Are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You're thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple hunters here. Forget hundreds of... Shut up. Hear that? Where's Ludin? It's faint. Sounds like fighting and... something else. Hakon takes off at a run. Ludin! Where have you gone? And he's off on his own. And someone's already dead. Clicking any tile will automatically make a path, but you can also set waypoints. Click one at the waypoint. I don't know if I want this one, though. Okay. Now select the next waypoint. This is often useful when you need to avoid certain tiles. Now confirm the move. This is not gonna go well. Spearmen can attack diagonally and up to 2 tiles away. Click the top right banner to compare your stats with the enemy's. Now click the enemy target. Yeah, first of all, I don't think Ludin looks very much, like his portrait in this case, but, Ludin, what the fuck? What do you... What the fuck, Ludin? Armor blocks attacks on strength. For each enemy armor higher than your strength, there is a 10% chance the attack will be deflected. Notice the chance to hit shown above the attack button. Attack this enemy's strength. Why do you want me to attack, though? Why do you want me to attack his strength if there is a chance it could be deflected? I'm not using willpower. Figures. Deflected attacks do no damage. From here on out, you will fail catastrophically if you don't break armor. Damaging both strength and armor is equally important. Damn it, Ludin, you fucking idiot! You could have been given the chance to promote if you just waited, but no. You decided not to do that. Thanks for that. Alright. Let's get this done right. Alright. Bring the Tempest upon him. I was expecting that to do more damage. Okay, let's use a little bit of willpower to go after this one. And let's go with breaking his armor. You doing okay there? You don't look like you're doing okay. I just promoted you, damn it! Really? You had a guy right in front of you and decided to go... Really? Okay, let's go for the armor on this one as well. I just promoted you! Let's bring the pain, breaks an enemy's armor, and punishes enemies for retaliating. Literally just promoted this guy, what the fuck? Like, more armor. There we go, big guy's armor is definitely going down. I love it. Gonna go for the strength, there we go. Don't you dare go down on me. Break the armor. Oh, just one. Okay, good. We're still good on that. Go for it. Yeah, he's gonna go next, so, just kill him. There we go. Whenever an enemy falls in battle, 1 willpower star is added to your horn. Using the horn will give 1 willpower to an active ally. You're not looking too great there. The armor completely! Oh, wonderful. That's just fantastic. Fuck you. That all you got? Well, I'm about to kill your big guy. See how that goes. There, now I can promote another guy. Since the last guy decided to go down on me. And, say goodbye to your armor. That all you got? This is gonna hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me. Okay, our renown grows. Promotion tempered by blood and pain. Consequences, Gunolf is injured. And so is Hakon. Damn it, Luden. You trying to get yourself killed, Luden? What are you doing? I was trying to get a shot in between the plates. Yeah, that turned out pretty well, didn't it? Never seen a dredge before, boy? What kind of idiot? Break their armor first. Where did they come from? We didn't even see them. They were just there. Hakon goes to where Vognir lies face down. The future Varl king lies motionless, aside from a spreading pool of blood. Vognir's dead. Well, at least we don't have to have any confusing voices. But yikes. Oh, this doesn't look too, where did that thing come from? Shh, stay close. I think it saw us. Excuse me, sir, but that deer is ours. Deployment happens before battle. Click your units, Rook and Alet, to deploy them within the blue squares. Click ready to start the battle. We're gonna have it set up like this. You both are archers. So, we're actually gonna just have you rest. Take advantage of the distance. You are also going to rest. Alright. Oh, I can't mark prey. Okay, so never mind on that then. The orange squares indicate the range of the unit's attack. Archers like Rook and Alet have a much longer range than melee units. Well, no duh. It's the whole point of a bow. And remembering the lesson from last battle, aim for the armor, even if we have just arrows. Uh-oh. Road? Is she able to... I think maybe we should probably have her move. This way. Once again, go for the armor. Okay, why the obsession with going after my daughter like that? Rude. Alright, you've asked for it. I'm marking the prey here. Stop beating up my daughter, you asshole! Alright, you're asking for it now. Ouch. Oh, you're dead here, boy. You dead. Finish with an axe. Did a pretty good job there, if I do say so myself. Murdered a dredge right there, me and my daughter. Perfect father-child bonding spirits. Was that a dredge? Alet looks calm, but you could tell her heart is about to beat right out of her chest. It was. Let me see. Are you hurt? No, I'll be fine. When the dredge attacked your cart and the yokes bolted, it spilled most of your supplies. You could see more dark figures moving through trees when you glance that direction. All that food. That's the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Don't run. Let me think. Do you think we can handle more of them? No, Dad, I mean, we're already lucky to be alive. I know. It's okay. Let's get back to Saga. Supplies represent food and other goods used to keep everyone alive on the road. When supplies are gone, people will start to die of starvation. The more people are in the caravan, the faster supplies will diminish. You can see how many days of supplies you have left on the travel display at the top of the screen. Most towns will have supplies to sell, as well as a few items. Well, that didn't go well.
I never expected to see the dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Ivor.
I love the scenery of this game, it's very nice. Ivor. The enormous varl in question towers over the men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Already back, Huntmaster. Thought you'd be tomorrow. Dredge, everywhere.
Dredge? How did they get through Greyhorn?
Must have broken through the fort. The fighters nearby have stopped sparring. They gather around you.
Damn it. They'll be here soon if they're not already.
You hear screams from the outskirts. People are running towards the Great Hall. Ivor turns to one of the older boys in his group of fighters.
Eagle, take Alette to the Great Hall. Tell the chieftain what's happening. The rest of you gather up as many people as you can.
Come on, Alette. No, wait, I want to help. Go with Egil, Alette. Alette looks like she might protest, but scowls and runs off to safety.
God's room, don't start telling them I know what I'm doing. I know it's a stretch, but they bought it. What's the plan? Just hold off any dredge we see until everyone's inside. Then we figure it out.
More shouts draw your attention to some houses atop a nearby hill. Okay. Well, I guess we got more to take care of. To the houses! Sure enough, dredge are gathering in number. Fear threatens to bubble over into panic.
How long do we need to keep this up,
You ask. Ivor shakes his head unknowingly. That's a bad sign. Turn order. Units move in the order you place them from left to right. This initiative order is very important when setting up strategies. For example, put archers after melee units so that they can stay safe behind your heavy hitters. Drag the units' icons to rearrange the turn order. Got it. And, item. Alette's bracelet. Lovingly made by a hunter's wife to keep her daughter safe from harm. Well, now it's gonna help her husband stay alive. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Well, now it's gonna help keep her husband alive. I mean, I don't know what Alette's doing without it, but, Ah! Okay, then. I'm gonna have you stay back a little bit over there. One with the shield looks trouble. Okay. Alright, go for the armor. Or maybe the strength would be better. Yeah, let's go with strength. Alright, and Rook, you're gonna move up one square. We're gonna go with a regular attack. Right in the armor. This should kill him, though. There we go, one dead. Oh, of course, you just have to go for the archer. I see how it is. Well, I'm gonna be marking you as prey. And you. You did. Okay, yeah, that is a bit of a problem. Ow. And you're gonna be dead. Or should I go after you? Yeah, we're gonna kill... Actually, you. No, that guy will die soon enough. We're gonna go after this guy in his armor. You will die in a single attack from Rook. And he's been promoted, excellent. You go battering ram against this one. He has taken up so much abuse, that is just so cruel. We're gonna try and attack this small one too. Go for the hell. Rude. Wait, seriously? May as well go for his armor. Road. Half his health. Don't worry, you still got this. Gonna join you in just a moment. Perfect. Okay, his armor's gone completely. Final blow. There we go. Okay, everybody's good. Everybody's alive. No injuries. Oh, all right. I get it. Rook has been promoted. Yeah, I was saying that better be better than the last battle. Difficulty. Combat can be unforgiving. Don't hesitate to change the difficulty of battle if it leaves you frustrated, or you find yourself needing a tougher challenge. Use the options menu to change difficulty. Don't worry, you can change the difficulty at any time, and it has no effect on the story or the choices you make. Well, I mean, luckily I was able to handle it with just the two guys. A black horde is forming at the tree line. Enough of this, says Ivor, glancing over his shoulder. We're going back. Then adds, Rook, I'm doing one more check of the houses around here. See if you can find anyone. Got it. You're lucky to escape the notice of more dredge on the way back. You can see them rummaging through homes, tearing the buildings apart. If you're going to look for more survivors, you make a note to do it quickly. Market. Let's see. We got 19 renown. Charm of the Wandering Mind. Ooh, we got some really nice items here. And ooh, Etherfang. A cursed fang said to fill itself with the blood of its enemies and grants power to those who keep it full. Plus 3 will per kill for 8 renown. Don't mind if I do. Halden Razor. A well-honed razor crafted by Halden, known for a steady hand, calm presence, and a will to exceed limits. Plus 3 will per rest. Okay. Volca thread, fabled armor, soon with thread woven by the early menders, were said to restore themselves over time. 1 armor per turn for 8 renown. Okay. Charm of the Wandering Mind, you need at least 6 renown. An engraving on this charm needs a fleeting thought may be important than you think. 20% dodge strength. Even the goddess will hesitate to strike down the Loom Mother's chosen few. Minus 10 aggro. Gonna get 1 day's supply. we'll just spend the rest of the renown on supplies. Alright, and heroes, let's check that out for a moment. Your items are shown at the bottom of the roster. Drag items onto your units to equip them. Okay, and we'll go ahead and give the Volca thread to you. Okay, Ivor, let's at least check his lore. When Saga was still young, Ivor wandered into the town's center, startling the settlers from Rundwall, who had rarely seen a Varl before. He's never said why he left Varl lands to help men build a small town, but each chieftain in Skagar's family line is happy to have him. He's known Rook since the man was young, and the two formed a fast kinship. Oops, that's not what I wanted. We have to wait until the items can be used. Oops, my bad. But Rook, you can be promoted. Higher stats increase your item rank. You need 5 renown to... Oh. Oops. Guess I should have considered that before buying up all those supplies, but oh well. We can at least wait on that. Okay then, Ivor. You find anyone? A few. Sent them inside. Gods, this is bad. I'm out of practice, Rook. Look, as long as I've known you, you've always wormed your way out of talking about Dredge. This would be the time to start talking. I can tell you they rarely stop for rest. The sooner we leave, the better. They'll follow us until we're tripping over tired women and children, then they'll attack. Even after we're wiped out, they'll keep coming, trampling corpses in their wake. There's no end to them. How did anyone survive the Great Wars? Ask the Menders. I wasn't there. But I know you fought your fair share. Yeah, I've killed enough slag for one lifetime. That's why you're going to save us now. Don't lay that on me. Come on, let's get inside. Okay, with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the video. We're already way past the amount of time we should be going, so we'll just end things here. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Give that like button if you did. Subscribe if you want more death in your life. Be sure the bell is tolling for thee. And until next time, rest in peace. Bye! Enjoyed today's video? Well, there's plenty more for you to enjoy here. And if you also want to support this small channel, then there is also my Ko-fi, which is available, as well as a Twitter thread that gives you my commissioning info. And if you'd like some traditional art or literature, feel free to DM me on Twitter. Thank you for enjoying the video and for your viewership.